All right, Luke. I'm just excited to be here today.
I'm nervous to be here because we don't have a guest.
Welcome to our new guest, Luke Hannon. We're super excited to have you.
Am I a guest?
Yeah, you are.
Today I am.
Yeah, you're a host slash guest.
Okay.
You are the most entertaining, likable personality on this podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That have been recurring personalities.
Yes.
Because we've had plenty of one-time guests.
We've had a lot of
who
great
have been
one-time
much
guests.
more entertaining than me.
Yes. But for those...
I'd say all of them.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Wow. Was it Ed Love?
Yeah.
He was actually pretty good.
He was actually a great interview. But nonetheless, we're going to put you under the microscope today.
Ooh, you're going to need a big microscope.
We're going to get down to the basics of
self-roast.
Who Luke is, how you got to where you're at, and we'll see where this goes.
Okay.
All right.
What do you want to know?
Well, born in Springdale.
Yep. Yeah, how much do you know about me is the real question.
More than
I
would like to. More than I would like to.
How much have you found that I hid?
Allie,
I couldn't hide being from Springdale, I guess.
Yeah, I think Allie, we may need a phone a friend here, but
born in Springdale.
Born in Springdale.
Yep.
Are you a Springdalian?
Currently?
What is the term for someone from Springdale?
Probably Springdalian.
Springdaleite.
That sounds like a beverage.
I know. I kind of like it though.
I'll have a Spring Delight. A couple for the table, actually.
So, all right. So Springdale.
Yep. Born in Fayetteville, Washington Regional.
Okay. Excuse me.
I think that was the only hospital around back in the day.
Is that right?
Back in 98.
Wow.
98, the golden year.
We're going back centuries here.
So
you go to school to be an optometrist.
Yep.
So
honors.
Dropout. Honors dropout. Great. Did you get to stay in the honors building?
So funny enough, I must have slipped through the system because if you're an honors student, you get preferred parking, you get preferred schedule picking and all that. And I still got to pick my schedule before everybody, but I was one semester and done. Actually, maybe I might have made it a year.
Worth it?
So, if they let me pick my schedule first, I guess. So,
all right. So you were taking like chemistry, science
Oh.
classes, right?
Science classes.
Science classes.
All the chemistries, all the biologies.
All right. So move us along to the end of your college career and where you kind of transitioned into your first job.
Yeah, so I had met a girl and we ended up getting married the week after finals week. So before then, we kind of had to plan our lives out because we had that DTR, define the relationship.
Sure.
We defined it and we said,
know it well.
We are forever. So we planned accordingly and we both had intentions to go to grad school. She had a communication disorders undergraduate degree, which would require 2 more years of graduate school. And there are plenty of schools across the United States who offer that program. I wanted to go be an optometrist, which was 4 to 6, I don't know, I've forgotten since, years of graduate school. And I took the OAT my junior year, did fine. Just fine. So it was on the table. I could have gone. Allie also she was much more passionate about her degree than I was. So I was like, you go first. Go to school first. I'll figure it out. So we're married. It's COVID, by the way. No one is hiring, especially biology major students who are looking for any kind of job.
Yeah.
So
what were you like applying for?
So I actually met with people that last semester. Being from Northwest Arkansas, there's plenty of people around who work as vendor. You know, when you think of business in this area, it's kind of vendors and Walmart associated jobs. So kind of in that community. Had a couple interviews, and everybody went on a hiring freeze right as we graduated. And so that summer we did, didn't do much for a month or two. And then I ended up coming over here next door to work at Pretty Morris Eye Care for like 3 or 4 months, which was a blast.
That's where you got those snazzy glasses.
I wish. I did get a pair from there. They were awesome, but loved it. It didn't really make me think that I was going to pursue optometry or not pursue it, but ended up getting another job that was salaried as opposed to hourly. So that's kind of that's how low we were. College degree, working an hourly job, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to go do something else. So I was a merchant service rep, which we've talked about on this podcast before, and it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. Door-to-door sales during COVID. So
You're selling when no one's buying?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's just hard. I mean, you're going to small businesses trying to sell them credit card processing when they've already got a terminal that works fine.
And their doors are closed to the public. So.
You're wearing a mask. They can't see this beautiful smile and personality. So
and the stash.
That's right. Back then, I was bare. I don't know.
Oh, baby face.
Yeah. So it was tough. I realized really quickly after my training, I was pumped. They do a great job. I worked for First Data and trained me up. I was ready to go in the field, and then got out there. I was like, oh, rejection for the first time in the sales industry. I was like, man, this is tough. So was deciding or kind of thinking about leaving, and went back to the vendor community, the Walmart community. Made it to the final 2 at Keurig Dr. Pepper, actually. Was really close to landing that, which would have been really cool. And my brother worked here at the bank and came by. This is how I remember it.
Yeah.
Came by to say hi to everybody, a year after he worked as a universal banker over here in Rogers. And you said, do you need a job? He's like, no, I'm going to work at General Mills. He's like, but my brother's kind of does not like his gigs. So we met. You and me went over to Neighbor's Mill, and you sold me on banking, and now I'm sitting across from you today.
Wow. What a story.
You tricked me, is what you did.
I did. Yeah. So, I mean, that's almost verbatim how I remember it too. But, all right. So the gist of it, though, is you go into a career field, and then you kind of navigate your way to banking. Obviously, it was not ever on your radar until it was on your radar, which I don't think is super uncommon for a lot of people in the industry. You're probably seeing more people like that than you thought. Yeah,
I bet you are one of the few people who had intentions of being a banker.
That's right.
One of the very, like, if we should poll, I don't know if that'd be beneficial.
I think that checks out, since there were only 8 people in my banking class my senior year.
You're joking.
No, and that spanned both
out of like 8,000
that's
in your
undergrad
class.
And grad students.
That is so sad.
Tough. Yeah. So anyways, so you end up in the field, and you've been in the field now for 2 years?
A little over 2 years.
Okay. But you do have some family history.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my grandpa was he was a banker for First Security, ended his career at First Security. He worked for People's Bank, which I don't really remember the details. It might have been an acquisition there, but last, 15 years were with First Security. Back when they were kind of a smaller community bank, which is really cool. So, in fact, I think your dad had mentioned that when your dad was a bank examiner, he went over, or it might be Joe. It's either Joe or your dad when they worked at the state bank department. Is that what that's called? Yeah. Went over there and examined his bank and gave him a pat on the back, said it all looks good. So
hey, everything's good.
yeah,
We'll see you in 18 months.
but it's really been cool because we'll get lunch. They've now moved. They were in Mountain Home, and we'll get lunch and talk about banking because I'm sure his wife's heard enough about it. And he likes having somebody who knows some of the industry terms. And
yeah, there's a select few that you can have those in-depth conversations with.
Yeah, so I'm learning that.
So what is your role here at the bank now?
I am a commercial lender, so I give people money to buy stuff.
Santa Claus?
Kind of. Except Santa Claus doesn't ask for it back, and we do.
Oh,
so
okay.
just slowly, just a little bit to where it's not, But, what that looks like is purchasing real estate, a lot of construction, some commercial and industrial lending, which is, helping businesses grow with lines of credit and things like that. But that's the gist.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, good. And you've been able to build some really solid relationships, through that, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, what do you think so far?
What do I think so far? It's not what I expected.
Okay.
I basically jumped on board because I kind of knew you. And I thought, Max is a cool guy. Your dad's a cool guy. I know some bankers who seem to enjoy their lives. So that's kind of all the information I had. And up to that point, like I said, my banking relationship as a consumer is where I store my money. And here's the card with my bank's name on it. Yeah. So it's a lot different than I expected. It's a lot more complex. It's very simple, but the intricacies are very complex with regulations and timing. And, once you gain a little bit more responsibility, there's a lot to juggle, a lot of people to, take care of, which can be super rewarding. But it's fun to have customers. It's fun to have people to care for. Yeah. I love caring for people, making sure everybody's all good and happy and being able to help. So that part's really fun to me. Having people call me, hey, I need this. Can you do this? Yeah, I'd love to help.
Yeah.
Put it at the end of this dozen other things I got to do today. But the days go by fast. The people in banking are fantastic. I've only worked at this bank, so that's been my experience. But so far it's been great.
Yeah.
Is that what you expected me to say?
To a degree, maybe. I'm glad you're having a good experience, but no, I've always heard that. I think my dad's even said it. It's great. It's a great mixture of relationships and technical expertise. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So you're allowed to kind of use your nerdy techie side.
Yeah.
The nerdy number side, I guess, would be more of it, and then you're also you can build really solid foundational relationships from it too.
Yeah, so. And both require time. I mean, the relationship piece is the fundamentals are what you should learn as you grow up. You know, be kind to people, be honest, all that.
Yeah.
The technical piece it takes time, and it was pretty frustrating trying to learn it all.
Yeah.
Not frustrating. Just, like I said, high school was easy for me, so I'm used to picking things up. Just kidding. Just kidding. But there really are some technicalities that are pretty in-depth. So if you're interested in getting in banking, actually, let me rephrase. No one's probably interested in getting into banking, but I encourage you to rethink.
All right, a couple facts from your birth year, since you didn't know what they were. All right, what do you think the average cost of a new house was at that time? Ballpark it.
In the U.S.?
Mm-hmm. No, in Germany.
2. Yeah, 2.
No.
200.
No.
What?
$120,000. 129,300. 129,300. Average monthly rent.
Oh, man. Average monthly rent. 600?
Yeah, close. $619. And average income per year.
Per person or household?
Per person.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
I'm thinking. I love educated guesses. 55,000.
$38,100.
Wow.
The two most popular children's toys from 1998: an AM FM CD blast box made by Nickelodeon, and a talking Barney.
I watched the little Barney.
Yeah. Well, now you know everything you need to know about your birth year.